Hey guys, so for someone who's not always in the gym or hasn't worked out since like high school, which is my case, it can be really intimidating and really hard to kind of know what to do or know what techniques to follow and all that sort of stuff. So since we have this opportunity and we have this assignment, um, I was like, you know what? Why not? Yeah, it's a fun challenge to see what I can do at my house, and then if it works out or if it's that easy, then I can progress onto it. Then why not and try it out? So I'm gonna go ahead and explain four different types of exercises, the categories, and then two exercises for each. So what I ended up doing here was I didn't have any resistance bands or TheraBands, so I did some looking and I found these bungee cord type of things with hooks on each side of them. I'm not sure exactly what the name is, but that's how I go by them. I found that in the back of my dad's truck, so I went ahead and I borrowed that from him, as well as a dumbbell. So you see me here adjusting it. I just did basically a loop on top of the pole. I hooked it to make sure that it was nice and snug. I went ahead and I tried it out before I actually started doing the workout. And here I am doing tricep extensions with a bungee cord and a dumbbell. So this is our first category, the DCER, or Dynamic Constant External Resistance exercises, which consist of movements that have a constant external resistance and go through concentric and eccentric phases. Now here I basically did the same thing as far as looping it around the pole, and instead of doing tricep, we'll be doing bicep. So I went ahead and I tugged on it to make sure the loop was nice and tight. I did the same thing, I grabbed a dumbbell, and now I'm going to go ahead and be doing my bicep curls. Now, as far as concentric and eccentric phases, in the tricep, you can see where I bring it back towards me and I push it away. Where I bring it back towards me, that would be the concentric, and pushing away would be eccentric. In the biceps, it would be the concentric phase when it comes up towards me and eccentric when it comes down. Moving on from our DCER exercises, we move on to the variable resistance training. Now we see that I keep using the bungee cord, and I basically use a gardening tool and I go ahead and I wrap it around, and it's like I'm doing bench presses, but now I'm standing up. With these movements, you contract your muscles to a point where you vary in resistance. So as I go into the further away point, it gets easier, and as I pull towards me, it gets harder. For the second exercise in the variable resistance training, I went ahead and I stuck to the bungee cord. I wrapped it on top just like I was doing the tricep extensions, but now I was just using my hands alone without any weight. So I went ahead and I just grabbed it and I would pull it back towards me and I would bring it forward. So as I was going back, I was creating the most resistance, and as I was letting it come back and controlling it, it was the easier spot. For all of these exercises, we'll be doing 3 sets of 10, including the ones from the DCER. And this is because the ACSM's FIT guidelines for resistance training recommend 2 to 4 sets for most adults. And just to not make things too complicated, I just decided to go ahead and stick to 3. For our third category, the isokinetic exercises, I will be doing leg extensions with the bungee cord wrapped around my ankle. Here I am doing the same thing to where I make sure I hook it on right and I wrap it around my ankle. I keep it at a good resistance to make sure that everything's nice and fine. And I go ahead and start extending that leg towards the back to make sure that I reach a good stretch point. Isokinetic exercises are dynamic muscle actions that are done at a constant angular limb velocity where there is constant tension being maintained as your muscles go through the concentric and eccentric phases. Next, I just decided to do simple bridge extensions with the free weight that I found, and I was able to find a mat, so that was pretty cool. As far as sets and reps, we're going to be keeping them 3 sets for 10 times. And since we're going for strength, we want to make sure that if we do rest, and this goes for all the exercises that we've covered so far, we want to make sure that we don't rest for any more than 3 minutes. Anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes is fine, but any more will probably prevent you from building up your muscular strength. And last but not least, we have our plyometric exercises. Now for this, I just simply did jump rope, but basically plyometrics are quick, powerful movements that have a rapid stretch in muscles and immediately follow with a slow stretch of the muscle. For the plyometric exercises, we'll stick to 3 sets, but now we're going to be doing 15 reps. Since we're going for endurance, we want to make sure that if we do rest, we do so for under a minute. As order, I would recommend targeting the jump ropes and the bunny hops from side to side first, because they are our only endurance exercises, and because they are fatiguing, it's important to go ahead and do them first. After that, I would do the bridge extensions, leg extensions, the standing up bench press, followed by the arm extensions, and closed up with the bicep and the tricep. For beginners like me, it's important to do them 2 to 3 times a week, but non-consecutive days. So basically every other day, make sure that you're doing them. As far as 2 or 3, I'd say whatever you feel more comfortable with. If you're really sore, stick with 2, but if you feel like you can push it and you can do it, go ahead and try 3 and see how that works out for you. That's it. Thanks, guys.